All right. Hello, everyone. It is Graydon here. I'm the founder and CEO of Forever Booked. I'm here with one of my all-star clients, Dr. Rick Herald. He is the owner and founder of Bella Vita Med Spa in Temecula, California. How you doing today, Dr. Herald?
Good. How are you doing?
I'm good. I'm good. Thanks for hopping on. I haven't done one of these interviews for a while, so super excited to chat here. To start, just give me a quick overview of your clinic and sort of the situation you were at before finding out about Forever Booked, and then we can start chatting about Forever Booked as well.
Okay, yeah. So we opened up in May of 2023 in Temecula. I had pretty much zero aesthetic experience. I'm an ER doctor, and
Yeah.
have been wading through the aesthetic industry. Got set up with some cynosure devices. We offer laser hair removal, Potenza RF microneedling, the usual injectables, hormone therapy. Um, and I was having a lot of issues kind of getting Facebook ads out there and talking to clients on Facebook that just kind of disappeared. And it was really frustrating.
Yeah.
Social media is not my forte. So I was struggling a lot with a lot of that. And that's kind of how I had my ears open for ways to improve that. And that's how I stumbled upon Forever Booked at one of the Cynosure events.
Okay, cool. Tell me a bit more about the emerging, because I don't know if you heard the story with my dad, but he had a similar experience. Like he was working as an emerged doctor and then a family doctor, and he just wanted to get out of that. Was that like what was the reason? Because there's a lot of other people in your situation, right, who are working in hospitals or they're working in non-cash based. They want to like open a med spa. What was your reasoning to get out of that and open up a clinic, a cash based practice?
Sure. Yeah. So ER is still, I still practice as an emergency physician,
Yeah,
10 nights a month, and that's my passion. I love it. But
yeah,
I was looking around at a lot of my older colleagues and seeing how they're burned out. ER has an extraordinarily high burnout rate,
yeah.
as do a lot of other professions, but I just did not want to be in their position. And my real estate agent, actually, at the time, had always wanted to get into aesthetics. And so she kind of gave me the nudge to do it. And we ended up going to a conference and bought a device, and that's how it started.
What was it difficult getting started? Just was it kind of like a shock to see how much marketing was required? Because I know that's a big thing when people start from non-cash base.
Yeah, that, and I mean, so many things. The phrase "you don't know what you don't know" is
Yeah.
definitely true for a lot of things,
Yeah.
but marketing
Yeah.
for sure. I listened a lot to a lot of speakers at some of the conferences, and you do have to spend money to make money, but how you spend that money is very important.
Yeah.
That you make good choices, and whether you choose a marketing company or do it on your own or whatever, you can definitely waste a lot of time and money if you don't do it in a wise way.
Yeah. Were you signed up with any companies where you had a bad experience before working with us? What was sort of your path before finding out about us and working with us?
So my former business partner was handling a lot of the marketing initially. She had us on Groupon briefly. We didn't really have a whole lot of. We didn't have an agency that we worked with. We interviewed a few, so we were just kind of doing a lot of it on our own, making a lot of the Facebook and Instagram ads on our own. And doing Google ads, Yelp ads, stuff like that. So it was a lot of in-house stuff that we were just kind of doing on our own, which is, for anybody who's done that, it's incredibly
It's a
impossible.
lot. Yeah.
Impossible to know what all the rules are for
Oh
social.
yeah. Yeah, that's why people they kind of go back and forth between those two things. They're like, I want to do this myself, and then like it's overwhelming, so they hire an agency. But then there's also problems with that. You said
Yeah,
you're experiencing Facebook shutdown issues,
yeah.
or
I mean, it's you make an ad and they reject it, and they
yeah,
don't really even tell you why. You have to
yeah,
guess they'll tell you the general
yeah,
category that you violated, but you don't know what
yeah.
it is, and it's just a lot of trial and error. And so it's just that was incredibly time consuming and frustrating. And then on the other side of it, actually replying to all of the people that would reply to your ads was
Oh
turned
yeah.
out to be a big waste of time because they'll reply once every 3 or 4 hours at best, and it was just a lot of wasted time. So
Yep. Yeah, for sure. I hear that all the time. What was the experience like working with us? Were we able to help you with those issues with the Facebook shutdowns and the um, replying?
Yeah, so there have been, maybe a couple of ads that I have used through you all that have gotten rejected. And then honestly, when you do a review, they decide, oh, never mind, it's not rejected. So I've never had an
Yeah.
ad that has gone on to be rejected from you guys. And so that is incredibly helpful. And it's um, initially it was a little cumbersome just with how the system was set up, but you guys have changed all of that to make it so much even smoother now
Oh, like
to
the integration of the ads?
yeah, it takes,
Yeah.
what, five minutes unless you want to,
Yeah.
make changes on Canva to the ad copy or something like that on the graphic.
Yeah.
It takes 5 minutes to set up an ad and it's posted, whereas before it would take hours or a couple days to set it up. So
Yeah, I'm glad you mentioned that because I'm actually pretty proud of that. Me and my brother about 2 months ago were like, we need to make the system more smooth, right? And that's the thing about our system. Like some parts are like you need to do it yourself because there's some parts of marketing that I truly believe that a clinic should be owning, but then there's other things that are just annoying, right? Like integrating an ad. That's something that we can have our team do on the back end, and it just makes sense to have you like submit a form and then our team do it. So I'm glad that was helpful for you.
yeah, very, very helpful.
Yeah. So what I think you posted. The reason I asked for the interview because I think you posted some wins in school. It was a filler campaign that you ran, right? Or was it the under eye
The
one?
under eye one, yeah, has been just absolutely
Yeah.
crushing right now. So
Yeah.
our main goal with that one is actually not to do any under eye PRP because I mean it works, but there are much better ways of addressing that area, and so
Yeah.
it seems like it's a reasonable price point. It doesn't scare people away. We can do our PRP pretty cheaply with the supplies we get. And so we're essentially selling, if they want to do it, we're essentially selling our Alastin skincare for $397 or upgrading them to microneedling, which is really the goal. And, if I end up doing the consult with the patient, I'm probably like 50% conversion to microneedling.
Nice.
Some of my other staff a little less so, but they're still doing a really good job of treating those patients and getting them sold on the right packages. So
Okay, cool. So that's one you're bringing them in. It's a $397 under
yeah,
eye rescue. This is a classic example of not having to sell the thing that is the promotion, right? This is something that I feel a lot of people are like, oh my God, if they're coming in for this, they have to buy this. But it's not the case of you, as you've noticed, right? Like you bring them in with one thing, but then once you consult with them, turns out they need this other thing. So what's that sort of switch like for you? Like how do you manage that? Because then a lot of people may say, "Oh, I'm like baiting switching by changing them to something else." What's that like for you when someone comes in and you consult with them and recommend something that's different than what they came in for?
so it's, I mean, it not being trained in sales or marketing or business, they don't teach us any of that in med school. It's very awkward initially, but the more you do it, the more
Yeah,
comfortable you get with it.
yeah,
And so I approach it as just offering options. If they
yeah,
want to do, if they want to do the under eye PRP, that's totally fine. But we are passionate believers in microneedling, RF microneedling with either exosomes or you can add PRP to that. And so I usually frame it as like this is the least thing we can do is nothing, and then kind of give
yeah,
them options. And we can also refer you out for a blepharoplasty or something like that. And
yeah,
majority of people kind of trend towards the middle. And so I usually make it so that the microneedling, the thing I want to sell, is somewhere in the middle, and then I'll price it out as, if you want to get good results with the under eye PRP, you're going to need 4 to 6 sessions, and here's the price tag for that. Versus here's
yeah,
3 sessions of microneedling, and it's actually like $50 cheaper to do that over time. And so most people reason through that, and then I show them our pictures. We have some great before and afters, and that's
nice.
that's usually what sells them on the microneedling is our before and afters once they see that.
Oh, 100%. Yeah, they come in, they see the case studies, and then they see what you truly believe in, right? Like the conviction that's the
Yeah.
whole selling. So the conviction come out of the case studies. I'm sure that's convincing them. So
Yep.
that offers a $397 offer. And you booked, I'm looking at your other post here, and you booked 10 patients in a single day for that offer?
Yeah, so some of them weren't for that offer. We had a few just kind of organic Google search calls. So I think
Yeah.
out of the 10 we booked that day, I think six of them were specifically from that.
Yeah.
One was from the carbon facial, which we just started running that and are getting a pretty good
Oh,
response
nice.
from that one as well. And so it was a mixture, but the majority were from the under eye. That is by far the most popular ad we've
Yeah.
had and the
Yeah.
lowest cost ad we've had.
And it's crazy because it's not a super low ticket, right? It's 397. So I would consider this
Right.
a mid ticket offer. There's this, there's this conception that um we're only going to do like low ticket offers to bring people in, and we've actually noticed this trend lately where we have a lot of mid ticket offers doing really well, like offers around $300 to $600 for bringing someone in. So yeah, you don't have to run a super cheap 40 $100 offer. You can run these mid ticket ones too.
Yeah. Yep.
So what's your calendar look like overall? Like how busy are you guys since you've been starting this marketing? Has it been able to make a marked improvement in your busyness here?
Yeah, we do have. So we have one of our providers who's here. All of my staff are part time, other than my manager. However, our busiest provider, she was booked out. Usually a week or at least a couple days, and we're still in the growing phase, and so
Yeah.
I am totally fine with not being booked out a long time. But since starting a lot of those ads, she is booked out pretty routinely, at least 2, sometimes 3 weeks for a lot of
Oh,
her days.
nice.
There may be one random day where there's not a whole lot going on, but we have really increased a lot of our injectables, a lot of the consults for the under eye stuff, and I try and leave my schedule open for last minute walk-ins and business
Yeah.
related stuff. So I fill most of my other providers, and they're getting a lot more full, and it's getting harder to get people in short notice.
Okay. Cool. Well, you're obviously crushing it. And yeah, like what would you say to other clinic owners who want to try this thing out? Because our program is very different than a regular agency, right? Like a regular agency, they're doing everything, but you lose a lot of control. It's very expensive. You often don't get the campaigns you want. And there's a lot of people that think that if they bring this in house, it's going to be like super overwhelming and they won't be able to manage it or anything like that. So what's been your honest experience of doing this alternative type of program where you're actually running these campaigns in house?
So yeah, at first, anything you do that's new is going to be overwhelming. But I mean, if you started a business or are managing a business, that shouldn't scare you off. As long as you do the trainings and do the setup, it was pretty seamless. You don't have to know a ton about technology to do it. Like the submitting an ad and doing all that is pretty seamless. You can change the ads to be whatever you want. I don't think I've had a single ad of yours that I've kept exactly the same, because we don't all have the same services. So
Yep.
it's it's intimidating, but as long as you are organized up front, go through the trainings, it's really pretty simple, and you do have the control to do what you want with your own ads. And
Mm.
sometimes you'll come up with, you being forever booked and all that, will come up with ideas that we never thought of, and different ways of marketing different services.
Yeah.
uh, and honestly, the under eye thing just caught me by surprise. I had no idea that it was gonna gain as much traction as it did. I
Yeah.
thought we did the $97 lip flip ad for a while, and that got us a decent amount of attention, but I thought more people would go after something like that, being
Yeah.
$97, being lips and stuff, and it was nowhere near that. So it's it's been a very easy process. I still feel like I'm in 100% control, and you guys have great support. If anything, goes wrong, it's super easy to reach out via text and get answers pretty quickly. And even sometimes after I would expect you to reply, I get responses. So
Yeah, sometimes some of our marketing coaches like reply on the weekend. They're like, "Okay, I need to get this fixed." Cool. Well, that's great. I'm glad. Yeah, it's so crazy. we actually started doing those type of offers last year. We call them problem-based offers, right? And me and my brother and I had this idea, like usually you just advertise the treatment itself, but not a lot of people focus on the problem the treatment's solving. And when you do that, you can, like, you just hit more of a nerve, when you go after just the under eye, because that's something that people don't really think of, but then they see the ad and they're like, oh, I would actually like to help this or to fix this. And it honestly comes down to experimentation too, because like that lip flip in another market, the lip flip may work like really well, in the under eye market offer may not work as well. So like our whole goal is to give you the agility to be able to test different campaigns and find one that really hits, and then when you get it, you can just run with it. So I'm glad you found that one with the under eye. And we got new offers coming out too. So we just hired a new full-time creative director. So we're going to be releasing way more ad templates and offers. I actually have a big batch coming this week that I'll let you know about as well.
Nice.
Yeah. Last question, Dr. Harold. What would you say to anyone like? I guess I already asked that question actually, like on the fence. I'll ask this question. What are you excited about moving forward? Like I know your business is pretty new. What are you excited about, like moving forward, 2024 and 2025 in the clinic?
So a few things. I just hired a manager a few months ago, so we're getting her kind of trained up to take over a lot of the administrative tasks. And I think my next goal is to pay off debt, and then hopefully by the end of 2025, I want to talk about opening a second location
Nice.
somewhere, because my goal is to have 3, maybe 4 locations.
Awesome.
We'll see. All of the different reps out there are always trying to get you to buy devices, and that slows things down too. So we'll see what
Yeah.
comes our way. We're doing very well. I'm very happy. I don't think I would be where I am today without a lot of things, but Forever Booked is definitely one of the things that has helped a ton. So
Awesome. Well, thank you so much, Dr. Harold, and kudos again to your success. You've only been, running this program for a couple months. You've already had some great results, so keep it up. You're doing a great job.
thank you.
Thank you very much.